Hey everybody! Welcome to Superhero Roundup live here on SourceFedNERD. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Sambashor.
I'm DJ Wooldridge.
Oh, DJ, it's so good to have you back, pal. We have
don't
Dad
touch me.
back.
I've returned from the dead.
I miss you, Dad.
I'm back now, so you
When
don't
will
need to
you
miss me.
respect us?
Well, I do respect you.
Okay.
You guys did a good job. It was
Thank
fun.
you.
I watched.
We
while I
did
was in
okay.
hospital.
We did okay.
I was in my hospital bed watching Superhero Roundup.
That is
Drugged
not a
up.
way to spend time being sad
You know,
and sick.
hey man, it was better than the stuff that was on TV at the time. I caught up on a lot of Law and Order while I was in that hospital.
So, folks, this is the show, of course, where we talk about all the superhero TV shows that had episodes this week,
Yes.
as well as any superhero news and what's going on. Obviously, with the big Daredevil release tomorrow, they released a moving image, like the first image of him in the
Yes.
full red costume. We asked you what you thought of that. That's going to be our question of the day that we are going to cover at the very end of the show.
Yes.
But first, we're going to talk about iZombie, then Powers, then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I feel like we should comment on, at the very least, like the promo from the Flash episode, the All-Star team up. I don't know if you guys saw.
We can't comment
Probably.
on it.
Comment on it?
I did
Yeah.
not see it.
All right. Well, I
But
mean,
I
it
can
didn't
comment
really
on it.
give much away, but some folks tweeted me and asked me to look that up. So let's talk about iZombie, shall
Yes.
we?
Sure,
The
please.
show's in its 4th week. How do we feel about it?
It's just another show. It's
Yeah.
not standing out at
I
all.
don't
to
know.
me.
I like it more and more each week.
But like, it's enjoyable.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's not a chore like when I was like power through Gotham
Yeah,
for the show.
that was a
but-
chore.
Yeah, but and
That was painful.
Yeah.
David Anders is becoming like an amazing character. The main character is doing okay, but the villain.
It's interesting with the main character because she kind of takes on a new personality trait
Every week.
which kind of makes her a little bit harder to latch onto. But fortunately, the people around her, like Robbie, I believe his name is, the guy that she works with, is amazing, and I love the fact that him and
Major are now living together?
living together and like
Instant
immediate
friends.
friends.
Oh, what? You
That's
play
awesome.
Diablo 3? Friends.
Yes, I that excites me a lot. I like the people in it. I like the characters, even the bad guy who was real, like because he killed the kid from last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's really bad, but he's very charming, very likable. I even liked the goons, the two meatheads,
Yeah.
her sidekicks. They were saying things that should have annoyed me, but the actors did it with
In a
such
charming
flair
way.
that it's like, I like these guys. I'm kind of hoping they're not, because they're zombies, right?
Yeah.
I was a little on the fence
They're
because they talk like these
zombies.
zombies, but they didn't look like zombies.
They're recent zombies.
Okay.
They're
Yeah,
like
they did
very
say they were
recent.
scratched.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
so,
were scratched.
So do we have confirmation that bullet through the brain means done forever, or are they going to sit in the freezer for a little bit until he thaws them back out?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
think
fun.
the zombie rules have always been destroy the
The
brain.
brain, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destroyed the brain. So he destroyed the brain, and
But
they're
I like
dead.
those guys.
I know. I love that they had flair. They were meatheads who thought that they were above being meatheads.
Exactly, but they were not.
Yeah. There's a lot of great writers on this show, and I feel like they're still finding their groove with it. This was a definite improvement over last week's episode, which was so disposable and boring.
Yeah.
I love that we called into question this relationship with Babineau and got to learn more about him in the process. I literally asked for that last week.
Yeah.
So that was great. And
He's one, I really like him, and I really like him and Liv's relationship.
Yeah.
It's real cool.
yeah.
Enjoy it too.
He should move in with Major and Robbie too.
Oh, just have like a guys club?
Exactly.
Yeah. This show feels like such a throwback to like 2005,
It
2006
does.
when Veronica Mars was on, when like something like Chuck was on. This show reminds me of Chuck a lot. Even though it's not
Yeah.
about nerds and it's not spies, like it's the same director, John Kretschmer. He directed a bunch of Chuck and a bunch
Okay.
of Veronica Mars. I feel like he has a good handle for this sort of like light-hearted crime show.
Yeah.
That's very quirky.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm not like super into it. Like I like Chuck, but I could never get into it. It does. I feel the same way. I couldn't get into those shows, even though I could tell that they were entertaining and fun for the
Yeah.
audience. I don't know.
I like this better than Chuck, and I don't know if it's because I've been forced to watch these episodes because of work, but I enjoy it. What do you guys think is going on with this whole like zombie
Underground.
the zombie underground, like this workforce he's creating / army?
I feel like it needs to be better explained. That's the problem.
Because
is
it seems like it's getting really vast.
Yeah.
really
Like
fast.
the list that they held up was like a lot of people.
We need an episode where we don't have a case of the week, or
Yeah.
it's so minimal
Yeah.
that we can really focus on the David Anders side of the equation
we're
getting
and
it.
explain that stuff. I also love his relationship with like the older rich woman.
Yes.
I feel like that's like a smart smart strategic move. So I'm like, okay, this is an intelligent villain.
Yeah.
Find somebody who you're attracted to enough that you want to keep them around as a partner. They're rich enough that they offer you opportunities.
I also like that he's not like a super villain.
Yeah.
He's just a kind of like a grungy lowlife that finally found an edge.
Yeah.
He finally got a way, like you can imagine before this, he was always trying to find his angle, and now the universe has given him an angle in that he can create a client base all by himself.
Yeah, you might say, and I feel like, DJ, you may tell me that this is so off, but he kind of reminds me of Captain Cold in that way, in that he was a thief. He was a good thief versus, David Anders, he was a pretty good drug dealer.
Yeah.
But he was looking for a way to stand out and do things in a big, bold way.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a tweet here from Nerdpocalypse who says, iZombie is a little rough around the edges and just needs to find a way to stand out. Which, like, it should have reasons inherently that it can stand out because it's got the world, it's got, zombie ideas, but ultimately it still is just a Crime of the Week show right now.
And, I think if it embraced, like I said, originally the comic has more supernatural elements. I feel like if like one of the cases of the week led to a ghost or a vampire, I think making the world a little bit weirder. I feel like this writing team could really handle quirky stuff like that really well.
Yeah.
And I think it would help liven up the world more.
Do you think that they could do that? Do you think this show could be more supernatural? Because right now they're like, oh, we're going diving into the science of it. But like they do that in supernatural shows, which is okay.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're still focusing on the science route.
Yeah.
So I don't feel them taking in other like supernatural beings.
Yeah, it seems what they're doing right now. I feel like it would benefit the show more if they decided to ditch that.
Yeah. I think
as monsters go, zombies are kind of boring, right?
they are, because they just kind of shamble around. They're
they're
giving
not
them
fun.
different
Yeah.
powers and having a different angle on
Yeah.
it, but they're still just zombies. I feel like this show just needs to go full on Buffy with it.
Yeah.
Assemble our Scooby Gang,
Yeah.
and let's just go have crazy, cool supernatural adventures.
Yeah, because I'm confused of why she just doesn't tell people. Like, why doesn't she tell Major? I really don't understand. Like, what's the downside to her revealing this to Major?
She's afraid that he'll tell somebody that she'll get locked up for the rest of her life or killed.
Then why was she engaged to him if she can't trust him that way? I get not telling the roommate because I don't really trust her either. But like Major seems like he's fine. Like,
He's a stand-up guy.
They
He's
might
great.
estrange the relationship, but spoiler alert, it's already estranged. Why not tell Babineau? He's clearly down for the psychic thing. Like, is it really that much more of a stretch? Like, that whole element, I don't know if we need. I feel like you're talking about the Scooby Gang. I feel like everybody kind of in her circle being on the same page with what's going on with her. I feel like it only benefit the show.
Well, she's not telling anybody. Like the Robbie caught her. That's
Yeah.
it. But like it's something she had like such like a cookie cutter life, and for something so crazy to happen, I wouldn't share anything like that.
Yeah.
Ever. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
And also, you have to remember, she's trying to make sure that he doesn't get bit or scratched or whatever. She broke up this marriage because she thought it could never work out because she was a zombie. If she tells him that's why, he's going to want to be with her and put himself in
Not
danger.
necessarily, but she's already around. So he's not going to be any more or less danger. I'm not saying that revealing to her suddenly means they're together again, but at least he understands.
Yeah.
It is a little weird of how comfortable they are. I feel like breaking off a marriage or an engagement like that far into it would, ruffle some feathers. Maybe like he wouldn't want to be around her all the time.
Yeah.
He's in there every
Chili613 says, is this from a graphic novel or comic book? He knows nothing about the show.
Yes.
Yes, it is from a comic book
A Vertigo
of the
series.
same name.
Yes.
And we also have a tweet here from
Drawn by
Potato
Matt
Gun
Fowler.
Riot at Riot Soup. What happens once the zombies are exposed? Think the show will go darker immediately? It's definitely going to be a darker world once zombies exist and everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I almost see like the siege in season 2 of Arrow as just sort of like a template. This show is so bright, and I imagine it getting dark real quick.
That dark. I would, and you guys are going to definitely disagree with me, I actually really would like to see this show cross over with Arrow or Flash.
This show?
Yeah. I'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah,
I think it'd
they're
be
all
fun.
CW shows. Why not?
Why not?
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I'd be down.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much covers it for this week. Any other big highlights?
Babineau, didn't really like the I know Kung Fu reveal.
Yeah.
For some reason, I liked AJ, the head Blue Cobra gangster. I thought he was compelling. I liked the scene in the video store, the way that played out.
Yeah.
Was fun.
Why isn't AJ or whoever the lead of the gang was that
Yeah,
AJ?
AJ, yeah.
Why hasn't he told anybody like, hey, she's like a monster?
He was
tried.
trying to,
Yeah.
which I was
Try
actually
harder.
which is one of my favorite bits of the show when he's leaving and it's like she's crazy. It's like you got your ass kicked by a girl, and it completely defuses that. Like everybody now thinks that he just is butthurt because he got his ass kicked by a girl.
Yeah.
But the way they play that scene where they're fighting, and it's a cool action, I mean, it's a decent fight scene, and then the brother comes home, and then it becomes a horror movie with AJ in the door, and then she leaps on him. The way that was executed, I thought was great. I like when they do those little horror nods.
Yeah. I honestly, my favorite part of the episode, maybe it's just because I'm a foodie, is all the fancy brain dishes
that she made.
And what a name, Meat Cute.
Yeah.
That's his lair is Meat Cute.
Yeah.
And she made brain gnocchi, and it just looked delicious.
Yeah, I'm bummed for Liv because she always complains about how terrible it tastes, and here's this making gourmet stuff that she doesn't get to eat.
No, we talked about it last week, I think. The brains kind of look good. The brains kind of it's like a big gummy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I like a big gummy.
It wouldn't surprise me if they're setting up to where season 2 there is like this whole underground zombie world that isn't necessarily run by the main bad guy, but Liv knows these people, and it's just this world beneath Seattle, basically. This whatever.
Now, 2 people are talking about crossovers in the comments. Sparky Bolt says iZombie doesn't exist in the Flash Hour universe, and maybe saying they don't want that. I can't remember who it is. Someone said a supernatural iZombie crossover could be
weird,
really weird.
Yeah, because the tones of those shows are
different.
very different. I caught a lot of Supernatural. I was in the hospital as well. That was on TNT a lot. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I get why everybody loves Castiel. I get it.
You get it?
I get it. He's cool.
My dang Twitter and like Tumblr, everything is flooded with him.
Yeah.
With all the people on that show. And they recommend the guy who plays Dean Winchester to play every part in every movie ever made.
I get it.
And he's fine.
Yeah.
And the show is fine.
Yeah.
But he's not the greatest actor in the world.
No, he would be good in some sort of cameo part in like some sort of hero character.
Yeah.
I think, but it's not going to happen while he's on Supernatural. So
right,
no.
Like the part that Joseph Gordon-Levitt played in Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
He could have played that part, and I would have believed it.
That would have bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe even more than Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Maybe.
Yeah.
A little bit of wasted.
All right, I think it's time to move on. Let's talk about Powers, which you guys actually watched this week.
Yes, because
we have PlayStation 4s in the damn office, and we never thought like, hey, let's hook up the PlayStation 4 so you can watch the show.
It was fine.
It was fine. But like, as somebody who's seen every episode, this is easily the strongest episode that they have ever put out. For those of you who are new or have never heard of this show, Powers is a superhero show exclusive to the PlayStation Network. If you have PlayStation Plus, you can watch it for free, or you can buy the episodes on store.playstation.com. It's based on the Brian Michael Bendis series, and it's a flawed show with a lot of interesting moments and ideas and characters that never quite get used correctly.
Yeah.
This episode, I feel like, should have been episode 4 of this season. They took so long setting up all this stuff, but I like the idea of Christian Walker not knowing that he has Wolf's powers and potentially walking around being a ticking time bomb. I love what they did with Johnny Royale. The moment with Callista, as much as I don't really like the character, where I'm just like, you stupid girl, when she takes sway, and then all of a sudden her eyes light up red, I'm like, oh my god, she is a power, I never expected that. There was a lot of good stuff this week. And the Under Armour satire, I like.
Yeah, that was kind of, that was interesting. So we have both Johnny Royale and Christian wanting to meet up with Wolf. Mm-hmm. Do you think this show blew too much of its budget on the cast?
I think so.
Yeah.
Quick question, because we watched the pilot, and now we're catching up with this episode. I watched a little bit of last week, but I didn't watch the whole thing. Did they fix some things? They've changed some things. Like with Johnny Royale, at least his teleporting power isn't so. Anymore.
The sound effect isn't as prominent.
No, and I like that a lot.
Which it's cooler, but I like.
Well, I like the pop.
I like the
the kitschiness.
Johnny Royale's my favorite, although he seems a lot more than
what happened to his voice?
It's always been that bad.
Really? I don't remember.
Since the first episode.
I don't.
Christian.
Yeah, I don't remember it that way in the pilot. But Johnny Royale, and the Simons are my favorite characters because of their execution. I think it's probably because their powers are the easiest to illustrate, and it's more fun.
Yeah,
it's more. I think that's the show should have banked more on that creativity than the other things.
The whole other thing
that it's doing. I feel like this show could have benefited a lot from a Gotham Central type feel, where it's like the superheroes are literally primarily in the background. I feel like it's trying to be too much of a superhero show, and it should be more of a cop show.
Jack Monahan, I see you. We are talking to you. Don't say that we're not, because we are. And also, Constantine was a show. We get it.
Yeah.
I want to read a tweet
we enjoyed parts
from Titan at Titan 11. The ending for Powers kind of gave me hope for the show to finally have a main plot as opposed to these mini plots.
What was the main plot?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't even remember how it ended.
Missed that.
It ended with Christian Walker inexplicably going to John Royale's base that apparently he had to get a whole
so earlier they needed a warrant and they had to like get past Simons to get in, and now he just waltzes right into the back room and finds Callista.
And then praying Mantis Girl, who apparently apparently they don't know what mannequins are in this universe.
Right.
Oh, clearly mannequins.
Right.
Oh
and she hops over and then gets her throat immediately cut.
How did it's such a stupid costume too. It's like she jump.
She jumps. She's got first Superman powers.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah.
She
without the
leaps
super
tall
strength to
buildings.
protect
And she
her
didn't
from
look before she leapt, and then she got her throat slit.
Yeah.
So guys, it was really dark in that alley. She couldn't tell they were mannequins.
That they weren't moving.
And then branding, they
chaotic chic.
They tagged the thing. But seriously, like this show is set in a world where like a lot of people have low shitty powers, and then a lot of big powers. Maybe it would have been cooler if it was like 5 people. You know what I mean? Like there's 5 people in the entire United States that have powers, and then maybe a bunch of like low shitty tiered power people that
Like,
kind of
he can glow in the dark.
Yeah.
His arm grows longer.
So Stephen Clayton asked, okay, if I were to log into my PS4 right now, how would I watch Powers? You go to the PlayStation Store. You go to TV shows, it should be the first thing there. They're pimping it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Or you can go to store.playstation.com. They got a nice little banner there. You can click and buy all the episodes.
So how many episodes are in this show?
10. So
10.
there are 3 episodes left.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wait, so we're trying to figure out that Sway. That's obviously that has to be the plot.
Sway and then Eddie Izzard as Wolf.
Yeah,
who
Sway
apparently wants to turn the entire moon into a...
No, that was like an idea.
BS. It's BS.
Yeah.
So he's telling everyone that he wants to be drained permanently, which like... At the end of the episode, they say, well, they're going to grant his request and he's going to be drained permanently next week. And it's like, wait, but do we even know that that's possible? They barely got these working where it's temporary.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
So what's the deal with the Simons and their ability? Because Christian gets one and puts a gun to his head and is like, I'm going to kill you if you don't do it, implying that if he killed this one, all the other Simons would just drop.
That was an idea. That's what I kind of got.
And then they all reabsorb except for one, and so he gets thrown into the power drainer, and that one immediately drops dead.
It made it feel like he's more emotionally and psychologically attached to these projections or whatever.
Friend.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like a brother.
That feels so weird, though, because then when they acknowledge each other, it's like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just, I'm like, when the guy's like, I'm on the phone for you. He's like, what did you say? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't say.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like they would understand each other more.
And then when he reabsorbed that, that took what was a cool, like, easy way to like show a power, and then like have to rely on CGI, and it was real weak when he's reabsorbing.
And it took
himself.
like 30 seconds when he should have just like stood like this, and they should have all just like
run out. That would have been really cool if they all just jumped out from the different cars and like jumped into him.
Instead of slow, like 1,
2, 3, 4.
I feel I feel like this
guys. Sam has a point.
Sam has a point. I feel like this should be X-Files type cop show that has supernatural stuff on the periphery, and then like every other episode they have some sort of big superhero moment that they can blow their budget on.
Well, we have 3 episodes left, so there's a shot that we can get that.
Anyway, I just feel like that would be a better way to manage, because I feel like that's the weakest part of the show is some of the casting, and then the effects are
Krill Studios says that their friend is the Asian guy in iZombie. Which one?
Yeah, there was a bunch in that episode.
There were quite a few.
It was like a Chinese triad or something. I don't remember.
If it was AJ, he did a very good job.
He did a very, very good job.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I think it is challenging because there are moments of coolness, like you said. Like the ideas are cool, the world is cool. The idea of marketing superheroes and branding, and when Retro Girl's kind of like, I'm not gonna.
I hate my suit. I hate my super suit.
Yeah,
there's no way. Suit. Yeah, that was like really cool because it's just like, you know, Real Celebrity. Like, you're gonna put me next to a smoking hot 20-year-old who just started her career. We're both in our super suits. I'm gonna have to starve myself for a week and then baby powder myself up to slip into that thing.
That was probably the best part of the episode when like she gave that spiel and how she delivered it. I was like, oh, this is what the show could be for a second, but
like a grounded drama about what it's like to be a superhero.
Yeah. That was really cool to see it from her point of view. It was like, no, I'm an old woman now.
And I think that's all you need is what's her the one that like ran the girl that robbed a bank and tried to run away at 40 miles an hour and then tripped. Girl? Yeah. Like that's all you need. I don't need hopping. Like you just need that story. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see any of that stuff. I don't need hopping girl at the end to get her throat slit. You know what I mean?
That was a lot of blood.
There was a lot of blood, which I wish there'd been more of that when Johnny Rail ported that guy's head off.
Right.
Like I wish
that
immediately
made no
just
sense.
a fountain of blood.
It should have been. Because he just popped it off and it's like a doll's head.
Yeah.
Didn't make any sense. Luis Morales at Dark Drummer Boys says, what abilities would you like to see in the Powers universe?
Less. That's what I'm saying. Less abilities. I want to see less of them so that the ones they do show look better.
Which ones would you want to see?
If you could pick one.
If you wanted to see a couple in that universe. Like you have your 5. What
ones
are the
that are not represented on film or video right now.
I like Johnny Rail's teleport. Simple stuff like Johnny Rail's teleporting, the Simons, multiple versions of them. That stuff. That's cool to me. Something more grounded, something a little less. Like you were saying, like it was people that glow, like real low rent, not cool powers, and like there's 5 people that can do really cool shit, like Retro Girl. Right. Retro Girl's flying around fighting people, but we only see that like every 2 episodes or every 3 episodes.
Right. I would just like a nice telepath on the show. No added budget.
Yeah.
And
just
yet,
a quick shaking shot. He's like, oh, he's thinking. All right.
but this is the show that is perfectly equipped to really examine what that would mean. Think about how that would affect your day-to-day life if you knew that somebody might be able to read your mind.
Oh, that'd be horrible. There was a show on ABC that was not great. It was a No Ordinary Family.
Oh God, yeah.
It was not great. But they delved into.
But Michael Chiklis, he's very good in The Shield.
He was not good in that, though, sadly. I'm sorry. The daughter had telepathic powers, and when they manifested, you actually got to watch her learn how to focus them, and her mom was able to talk her through, like, she didn't know how powers work, but she was able to help her daughter focus her mind, how she would take in everything. She couldn't control herself at all, and like it showed like how like a teenage girl would have to deal with that. I like that.
Yeah,
that
but I think we've all had moments where you're just sitting there and like a stray thought rolls across your brain and you're like, glad nobody could read my mind. You know, because that was a weird thought to have.
A weird thought I had.
Yeah, and so like if you knew that there's a possibility that Matt could read your mind and he's just not told us.
What if all telepaths in this world had to like register? Like they had to register because it's like you have unrestricted access to everything now.
See again, and we take low rent powers like that for granted in the world of Marvel and Avengers and all that shit. But if you have a show like Powers where you're really looking at like the practical ramifications of that.
Yeah.
You like you're talking about like registering telepaths, like how would the world government secrets, all that stuff like
see, here's the
everybody
thing.
would have a panic attack over just telepaths.
If you were a telepath, you would be such a hot commodity. I bet every
Marketing
Fortune 500 company and every government has a telepath.
Ooh. Yeah, but we don't know how many telepaths there are. And then you can start looking at those Fortune 500 companies would want to make a telepath, so they would start trying to invest in Sway, shit like that. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's something where a show like that could really differentiate itself.
Special K85 says Shay Carl had a cameo in No Ordinary Family.
He did. I remember. I was a fan of him when that happened. Yes.
And you were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it was fun. Man, this show that you're talking about. Let's make that show.
Yeah,
huh?
I want to see a show. I'd love to see a show where it legitimately. We don't even need other superpowers. We're just like there's some kind of accident or radiation or evolution, and now there's just like 1% of the world are telepaths.
Yeah,
and how that would completely. Like just fuck up the world.
Yeah,
just telepaths.
Just telepaths.
Ooh. And then you'd have some people
call it "I can hear you."
And then you'd have That's what they would call it. And you'd have younger people that are like, well, that doesn't matter. I tweet out every single thing I think about, whatever. Anyway, you'd have different reactions to it.
Yeah.
No,
it's true.
Think about it.
All right, I think it's time that we move on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I want to start with a quick tweet from Kenna Adler at Kenna Kills. Lieberman, don't leave me hanging. Sky's mom in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Theories about her weird scars?
Well, you kind of put it together.
Yeah, she got carved up.
Yeah, and she put herself back together after.
Somehow.
That would have been great. A scene of her just...
Too
that
dark
make her so
for ABC.
badass. Can I say what's his name? Who's the guy? Lincoln.
Yeah.
Would have made a good Barry Allen.
He would have made a good Barry Allen.
Yeah, would have made a good. Because again, my only real problem with Grant Gustin is that fucking baby face of his. He looks 12.
Oh,
Still,
wow.
I mean, I got over.
I got over it until I saw Lincoln, and I'm like, this guy.
You seem like a guy who watched The Tomorrow People. Did you watch that?
No.
Oh,
God,
really?
no.
Oh, hey, it was a superhero show. It made no sense, and then they like had like supernatural shit. I don't want to talk about it, but Peyton, who played Snart's sister, was on it.
Nice.
Firestorm was on it, and the guy who played Lincoln on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on it, and it was cool to see him because I feel like besides Firestorm, he's being utilized the most, and he has the coolest role and cool powers. I'm like, yes, you made it.
Although we're not really sure about the extent of his powers. They're electricity based. He's got basically static shock powers.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Electricity make you float and stuff.
Yeah. Sam, we got a question here from Laura Bukvik in the chat. Sam, where did you buy your shirt? It's hella dope.
It is hella dope. You can go pick up this shirt probably over at forhumanpeoples.com.
For human people.
And if not this shirt, other cool dope shirts.
Yeah, actually, I think that I don't want to spoil anything, but you should check out the website for the next couple days because there could be cool other ones like this.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I know I wasn't here for that discussion. I liked last week's episode a lot better.
With the tree explosions?
Really?
Yeah, because
I like this week's a lot
there was
better.
a lot going on. You got a real
There was
shield.
a lot going on this week too.
It seemed like a reset episode, like a hey, here's where everybody's at. And anytime the show like settles into like, hey, let's look at our characters, you realize the characters are kind of fucking boring.
Yeah.
So it's better when like things are happening. Like you've got real Shield taking over the real Shield. You've got Sky figuring out her powers. You've got the flashbacks to the day S.H.I.E.L.D. failed. But it still doesn't. The real Shield thing still doesn't make.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Like, but I didn't hate Rodriguez as much this week as I have in the past.
Did he fit better for you?
He fit better. His conversation with May, where he explained
the gun.
The gun. Oh yeah, with the gun. Here, go ahead, shoot me. He's an expert tactician. Go ahead and shoot me.
You just scratched up that table. So.
Yeah, he scratched it up real bad. But I liked him saying, "I want you to take a seat at the board, like, yes, you are a Coulson person. We need someone like that on our board to help us govern." Like, he's actually like, listen, I want this to be a thing. I'm not trying to imprison you. I'm not trying to ruin S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's work together.
You did it in the dumbest way possible.
Totally.
Like, all you had to do was like, hey, we're here. We've been here the whole time. We're a little worried about how you're running S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because Coulson gets the toolbox from Fury, says you're supposed to restart S.H.I.E.L.D. And so he goes knocking on all these people's door, and they're like, hey, go fuck yourself. And now suddenly they're the real S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, they're assholes.
Yeah, they're assholes.
Right?
They're like, we don't really want to do it your way, so we're going to do it our way.
And then we're going to invade your home base.
We got to throw it back to someone else in the chat, Deadhood94, who says, I still don't know how Sky's mom is back. Whitehall hollowed her out. Yeah. Does she have a Deadpool-like healing factor where she can walk off almost anything?
Yes,
bro,
and Inhuman.
And
bro,
sure.
Let's be real. Yeah. They all these Inhumans they've created mostly, they don't exist in the comics.
They don't exist.
They don't exist. So
because all the good
Quake.
Inhumans are going to be in the Inhuman. All the good Inhumans are being saved for the Inhumans movie.
Right. Yeah, they're not going to waste anyone.
Well, and another person at Shy Sagwig, Fangirl 2.0 says, do you think that because Sky's mom returned, that Whitehall could return too? He hollowed her out and took her power, and she was able to regenerate it.
So I felt like he was kind of wasted.
Yeah,
and he was interesting. He was
a very compelling villain.
Yeah,
Reed Diamond is a great actor.
Wait, is Hydra gone? I don't remember.
Hydra isn't gone. Baron von Strucker is still out there.
Oh, but he is. But is
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hydra still there? Is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hydra?
No, they kind of cut off those heads. They'll be back. I was kind of thought they were going to set up Ward to be the new head of that version of Hydra.
They gotta go find Ward now.
They gotta go find Ward. My favorite scene in this episode was the opening sequence with Coulson and Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Always mixed up because the actor's name is Nick Blood, and so their names are so
such
comic
a
booky.
cool name.
They're so comic booky that it's him and Hunter. With the way they handled the car situation, I thought that was really fun.
It was cheeky.
It was fun. But again, I thought it was just kind of it was a slower episode. It was resetting. I felt like the afterlife was kind of dull.
You didn't like it? Oh, I loved it. I thought I wanted more powers there. Honestly, like I get like this is like pre. Well, there's comic stuff, so I don't want to talk about that. But like, I like that they're not all superpowered. It's like people who are like, oh, this is like a lineage thing. This is like an ancestral thing. Like I get to earn this.
I like the idea that she cut the line.
Yeah.
And that people do not trust her there.
Do not like that.
I wouldn't. No.
May I ask how many episodes before she and Lincoln bang?
Next episode.
Next episode?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, half an episode. That's probably right.
How many more episodes do we have this season? I'm very confused because of the whole
yeah,
Agent Carter.
I thought it was going to be a full 22 because they did 11 before Agent Carter. I thought they'd do another 11. But then I believe you told me, Sam, that we only had like 5 or 6 episodes left.
Oh, I could be, maybe. I don't know. I don't
that
remember.
It ends very, very soon.
But like, think about it. Bless you.
Bless you, my goodness.
That scared me.
Like, are there really any standout moments this episode? I mean, the mom returning, cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, going
Mr.
to Afterlife is pretty cool.
Going to Afterlife is pretty
Mr.
cool.
Hyde's beating the shit out of some tables in a room.
I liked his interaction with Duncan. What's his
No.
name? Blind guy.
Blind teleport. He's not blind though. Teleporting guy.
Hank.
What's his name?
Hank.
No.
Duncan.
Donald Logue. Crispin.
Wait, so somebody's got to have a name. It's a
Stevia.
name. It's a name we know.
Severus Snape.
It's a name. It's Shangri-La. Okay, come on.
It's not his name.
No.
I don't know.
The guy's name, the blind guy.
His
Come
name
on.
is Blind.
Anyway.
Jordan.
Whatever.
That's not Jordan.
No, we'll figure it out in a minute. But I really like him. I like his interactions with people. I like that actor.
Mm-hmm.
I find him fun, even though he's not Reader. He's some new guy.
Reader's way cool.
Apparently, he's going to show up in the. This
He's in the
guy's
comics.
going to show up in the comics.
He is.
Reader?
Yeah. This new guy.
This new guy.
Oh, this new guy.
There's a question, Logan Kershaw. Do you think the real shield will turn into sword?
No.
No.
Will it turn into armor? No.
No. Let's see.
I think real shield and our shield will merge into a more complete shield.
But our shield will take over the real shield, and then we'll get.
And there'll be
real-
one shield that we got.
I think Phil will be. I think Phil will be the director, and there will be a board of directors beneath him. Gordon. Thank you.
Gordon.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Gordon.
So yeah, because they called him Gordo at one point.
Yeah.
I think Phil will be in charge, and there'll be a board, and that'll be a lot of his drama, headaches of trying to get stuff past them instead of just being able to do what he wants. They need to
red tape.
They fucking hamstrung Coulson so much by like putting him in that like gruff leader role. That's not what made Coulson cool in the movies.
He's fun. He's light. He's quippy.
The return of Deathlock. That's
yes,
something that
I wanted to give that a tweet.
He looks cooler.
We got a tweet about that. Addy Call at The Money is in the. I'm really happy to see J. August Richards. I would like to see more of him. # discount cyborg. # cyborg ex machina.
Yeah, no, J. August Richards, thank you. He is. I loved him on Angel, and I love him whenever he's in any
his arc on Angel
Whedon
so
stuff.
sad.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yes, it is. It's so sad. Everything on
depressing.
Angel
can I
sad.
just-
Nothing's happy.
Can I just? How is Deathlock alive? Where
He was
did we
alive at
leave
the
him
end.
last season?
He walked off into the darkness at the end of the
Oh,
last
okay. He
episode.
walked off.
Here's
into
the thing. Here's the other thing
darkness.
that can. Why do we keep letting? What is he doing? Why is he not a
He's
part
an
of Shield?
agent. He's an agent.
He's an
agent of
He's
S.H.I.E.L.D.
an agent of himself.
Why do we keep letting the cool
He's an agent
comic
of
book
the
characters
heart,
go?
DJ.
Let's have Deathlock on the team. Let's have what's her face from Asgard stay on the team.
Sif? Yeah.
Sif. Let's
Oh,
have just
imagine.
Sif on the team.
Quake. Blonde electro guy. Sorry, I don't remember his name.
Lincoln?
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Gordon, Cyborg, and Sif. You got all those people, and then everyone else on the show disappears except for Coulson.
I would prefer that they just go on DC's new anthology show
Yeah.
and not worry about
and
this
also,
complicated
we have Fitz and Simmons pulling a fast one.
Yeah, go Fitz and Simmons.
Yeah.
He found a fake vibranium cube to switch out. It was clever of him to pull that out of his ass.
Very clever to have another
Yeah.
vibranium cube on
Just-
hand so that you could fool them.
Hey, what we didn't see was the scene where Nick Fury's like, here's the toolbox. He is a fake toolbox, just in case.
In case you need a backup.
Put it in this lab for you.
Because that Gonzalez guy, he's a real asshole. He's probably going to try and start his own shield.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to some folks in the chat. Replaced by Drumbot, Frying Pan Warrior, Hallie C, Under 20 Over 40, King Eye Dog, Max Munoz, Death Incarnate, Matt Steele, Nicodemus, Hill, Unknown Beast, Caleb Spa, and Samantha Bakari.
I thought you were reading a sentence.
No, I was reading off names of people who were watching.
Oh, somebody pointed out what happened to Patton Oswalt's multiple characters.
Bro, he's too much money. Okay?
He comes busy.
The pilot,
Big
English
now.
monkey. He is busy.
He is part of the stupidest mystery on that entire show.
Yeah. No.
Why is it even a mystery what his deal is?
Is he a clone? Is he twins?
It doesn't matter.
That we can reveal it before the finale of season 7.
He is so emblematic of the things that bother me about the show is they waste so much time on things that do not matter and nobody gives a shit about.
Really quick, someone in the comments said that they wanted Fitz's sandwich. I would like that sandwich.
Oh, she got him the sandwich.
The sandwich looked amazing.
We'll talk about this more in the thing, but there is talks of this. We'll talk about sandwich in the news, but there's talks of an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off series.
Oh,
which makes me sad because I want more Agent Carter.
Yeah, that would be preferable.
What are you gonna spin off? What, a real Shield?
You know, what's something we joked about? I don't know if we joked about. We might have talked about it on this thing. Did we talk about how Disney owns Rocketeer and how Rocketeer should team up with Agent Carter?
Yeah, it would be a great idea. It would be super.
You're not gonna get that though.
I got some tweets earlier in the day. I got some tweets earlier today on my Twitter that were about. Did you realize that? When Cal told Whitehall after Whitehall killed his wife, he said, "I'll see her in the afterlife." That maybe it means that he knew about afterlife.
It's possible.
If S.H.I.E.L.D. was able to think that far ahead, man, good for them.
Good for them for thinking that far ahead. Would have been nice to. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to maybe get more nuggets like that about Skye and maybe not have it be this season. Maybe get her powers earlier.
I know. I like this episode a lot because it just introduced something new. Like, it was the first brand new place. Like, the afterlife, it's like the whole world doesn't know about this.
Yeah,
except
and
for
we
this
can
select
all
number of
acknowledge
people.
that the spin-off series is probably going to deal with the Inhumans. It's probably going to be called The Descendants and deal with these Inhumans characters. Because that's what they're calling them in the show.
I'm okay
We're
with
the
that.
Descendants.
Yeah, they only said one... They said Inhuman one time.
They've never said Inhuman once.
No, he's like, he did something Inhuman. And then Fitz runs away scared, and then he's fine later. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he's just fine.
There you go.
I love that that Phil and Deathlock and Hunter are going to go see Christian Ward. And it's just, I like Christian Ward. Ward is, to me, or Grant Ward. I don't know why I'm saying
Christian's the brother.
Christian Walker is what I'm thinking. Oh, Christian Ward is the brother. I like that they're going to go see Grant Ward. I think Ward is maybe the best character on the show. I really do.
Are they gonna put him on their little rebel team?
Yeah, their little away team.
If they got Agent 33 back, right? Like, she's supposed to introduce a lot of Marvel characters, so...
Agent 33 is?
Yeah, she's the one who I
can change
could
her
be so
face.
wrong. But I remember she like introduced Hercules, or she like went out to like... There's something here. There's some kind of truth that I'm saying.
Okay, there's some kind of truth.
I don't know what it is,
He's
but
laying
it's true.
down.
So Fangirl 2.0 at Shy Sagwood wrote the hologram that they used was used by Beast to defeat Captain America in the comics, apparently. Beast, the X-Man.
Oh.
The hologram they use, what hologram?
So the hologram that they use inside the cabin to deter playing
I
cards
feel like
and all
this
that.
is a stretch in that at one point Beast was stopped by a hologram and we're assuming it's the same hologram
It's not
program.
the same hologram.
I would imagine that just seems like a stretch to me. Also, that was kind of dumb.
Wait,
That
sorry,
whole bit
was this
was
a
kinda dumb.
1940s hologram, or just there was a hologram in this Bruce Banner? I don't want to think about it, actually, sorry.
Yeah,
but it just bums me out.
Yeah.
This show bums me out.
As fun as it is, it does kind of bum us out.
Yeah, it just doesn't have a lot of personality. It's just very gray and very bland.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have a lot of like...
Enter Adman wants to know, hey, so what do you guys think of this Marvel/Attack on Titan crossover?
I mean, hey, Marvel likes making money, Attack on Titan likes making money, why not make money together? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more
Would
to
I
it
like
than
to
that.
see the Hulk fight a Titan? Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be super cool. And there's going to be in the comics, Green Lantern and Star Trek crossover, which I will probably read.
It's a great idea.
Cool. Yeah,
the Doctor Who Star Trek crossover was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can
I, real quickly,
Yeah.
since I wasn't here last week's Flash was really fucking good.
It was.
It was. You guys read my tweets. Thank you for doing that. Arrow was also really good. That show is so ambitious for a CW show. All the stuff that it's trying to pull out. Can I say, Roy maybe joining the Suicide Squad?
I think that's a cool idea.
That might be what they're
cool.
setting up. I feel like that's a good way to be like, hey, we don't know what to do with you, but here you are to be put in our back pocket for later. With his whole rescue, Roy's gotten a lot cooler in the show.
Yes.
Also, you know, all those tweets about like, oh, it's so hard saying goodbye, and we all assumed it was like a main cast member. It's Quentin Lance.
Yeah.
He's so set up to be killed off. Like the way things are going, like it would not surprise me at all if he did not get killed off.
No,
That'd be so
he's
dumb.
so good.
He's so good.
Yeah.
No.
So good.
It's also interesting. I was reading a review that pointed out how him not knowing Arrow's secret was actually very effective because he actually had the power to do something about it. Because now that he knows, because the whole city now knows
The
that
whole
Oliver
world,
Queen,
basically,
knows that Oliver Queen is Arrow. Like this show's so good at destroying its own status quo. And it's still somehow making the show viable, like actually having it still be able to be a show.
Stephen Amell, I follow him on Twitter, and when during that episode last week, he tweeted, so apparently only the janitor who was working during that press release doesn't know that I'm the Arrow.
The Arrow anymore. But now Roy's kind of stepping out. I'm wondering how that'll all play out, but it would not surprise me if Roy gets shuttled off to, Arsenal gets shuttled off to the Suicide Squad.
I don't think they're going to have the Suicide Squad anymore.
Well, there's been talks of that the reason that they got rid of Deadshot was because of the new Suicide Squad movie, which was stupid. It's real dumb.
Like, I don't get it. Like, are you gonna have shared? You don't have shared universes, but you can't use the same characters.
I will tell you why. I'll do it once. I'll do it twice. 3 times a lady.
Yeah.
They did it because of Will Smith. I don't know whether he asked for them to do it, but I feel like one of the stipulations is if I'm going to play Deadshot, I am the only Deadshot.
Which makes.
Well, you know, no, it doesn't. But your theory makes sense. If that is what happened.
Oh, it makes sense of him asking it.
Yeah.
But like.
But again, I feel like that's fine. It's a little bit of a shame. I never really liked their Deadshot. I was never a huge fan. I mean, it's fine. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, oh, great. Bring Bronze Tiger back. It's bullshit. It doesn't count.
No, you
like,
call it bullshit. The guys have come out and said that it's continuity.
It's fine. Bring him back. Bring Bronze Tiger back, and you have your Suicide Squad that way. Have Arsenal be a part of it. Yeah.
I have a tweet here from Smiling Boudoir at StitchNY22. Hey, I get DC and Marvel, but do you think they will ever do an Image Comics show?
Well, that's more complicated because Image is specifically designed to be creator-owned. So each one is their own. Like Rob Liefeld owns the rights to all the characters he created. Seth MacFarlane owns the rights to all the characters he created. It's not a shared universe.
Todd McFarlane?
Todd McFarlane. I'm sorry. Seth MacFarlane's a completely different person. Yeah. And they do have crossovers in the comics, but it's more of a fun like. Whatever, right? You know, it's not going to work the same way as whatever. And right now, Image is basically filling the void of what Vertigo used to do because they've got books like Black Science and Southern Bastards and Saga that aren't related to superheroes at all, but are absolutely killing it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. TV shows, they're always going to pick visible properties over invisible ones. And frankly, most people just have no idea that Image Comics even exists. That's it.
Yeah, to some degree, like Spawn, is probably going to get a new movie and a new series and all this stuff at some point. Savage Dragon had an animated series for a while. Speaking of Vertigo, we should have an image of an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. poster.
Oh, yeah.
That was released. They've been releasing posters with each episode. If that is not coming up right now, go find it.
Cool.
It's designed by Dave Johnson, who did the covers of the 100 Bullets series, which is my favorite comic series of all time. It was very influential for me. And it's really cool. Dave Johnson's the best.
Shield, fake Shield,
yeah.
whatever.
It's half and half. It's half the Shield one and half the round one, and then we got Phil and we got all this stuff. It's real nice.
It's really cool. And if you haven't had a chance, check out 100 Bullets.
Oh, folks in the chat are saying that Walking Dead is an Image Comics show.
That is true.
That is true.
That is true.
So that's my bad. But it has a strong hook in that it's a zombie show.
Yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me if something like Invincible got a movie.
I would love that. I love Invincible.
What's Invincible?
Invincible's indie superhero comic.
It's basically just rough premise. It's about the son of Superman.
Ooh.
He doesn't have. But it's not Superman. It's Omni-Man, and that means that they can make him whatever they want.
Yeah, and Omni-Man turns out to not be so great.
Yeah.
So let's News.
Yes.
Let's news it up, everybody.
Let's news it up. Sam's got a point.
Sam has a good point. We can talk about our big question because that is the biggest news, at least in my eyes.
Yeah.
In your point, on your point.
On Sam's points, is the Daredevil costume that was released during the moving poster, which everyone's
it was kind of false started release. People started seeing it when they logged into Netflix on the thing. So and I would have sworn I was getting ready to talk about it, and I was going to swear to you guys that it looked fake to me, and then it was revealed to be the actual costume.
It looks gross.
Awful. It's awful.
I am reserving judgment until I see it in action in this series.
His head looks so gross. I looked at it and I said aloud, "That is disgusting."
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Captain America's costumes in the Avengers movie, where it just seems like too much is going on. There's too much I kind of miss the good old days where costumes were like sleek. Yeah,
they don't have to be like battle armor here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. As perfect a movie as The Dark Knight is, that whole like panel layering armor thing kind of ruined stuff.
Oh, I like armor. I have no problem with armor, but it looks just like, what's he gonna do? Where's he going? Like, well, who built it for him? Like, he didn't build it. Like, not to be mean. Yeah. He didn't build it. He got somebody to make that for him.
Well, we'll find out this weekend.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of Daredevil, we're going to do something a little bit special for it. We're going to watch the entire fucking series this Sunday. It's gonna actually be my first time actually binging something.
Yeah, because you don't like to binge.
I don't like binging. This is actually kind of a nightmare for me. Yeah. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna watch every episode on Sunday, probably starting around 9 or 10.
Yeah.
We're gonna live tweet it.
So if you want to hold off, I know most people you're dying to watch it tomorrow, but if you want to hold off till Sunday, you can watch it live with us all day long.
Yeah, and there's some talk of maybe doing some fun Periscope stuff with the last episode. Yeah. We're still figuring all that stuff out.
So check out our social media.
Check out our social media. We're going to do a bunch of cool live stuff so that you can watch the show with us in real time and maybe even do a couple of Periscopes for some episodes.
I hope they're not. I hope they're just checking in on our tweets. I hope you have something better to do with your Sunday than
no one does. No one has anything better.
Then watch the entire Daredevil series.
13 hours.
13 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be fun. We're going to have fun doing it.
One more time. I just need to finish.
Yeah.
This suit, the head is so fat and squat. It's like an awful insect. The horns are so tiny. It makes every part of his face look gross. Yeah,
but we've proven with the Flash costume that the effectiveness comes in the lighting.
Super Weasley. Sam, Agent 33 was a Greek mythology expert who was tasked with recruiting Hercules to S.H.I.E.L.D. You are right. I knew something. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it.
That'd be so weird if they brought in Hercules to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. That'd be crazy. Yeah. But it depends on how they light it, because the Flash's costume in the show is kind of goofy. Yeah. But when he showed up in Arrow, it looked dope. It looked a lot better.
Yeah. Wakari Sampson says the eyes on the Daredevil costume are open, but the ears are closed. Major failure.
Are they open? It looks like they're lensed over, like in the Daredevil movie.
They're lensed over.
His ears are where the power comes from. Why would you block the only thing that gives you power?
No, he can smell.
He can't smell.
Boo.
He can touch.
Sam's got a point.
Yeah, Sam's got a point. He can smell, and he has a turtleneck on. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Opinions are not mixed.
Gary Horman at Gary the Third writes, "Do you think Daredevil will be too dark for the MCU? I can't see it fitting in well with MCU or especially S.H.I.E.L.D.
Early reviews. It's TVMA, which is surprising. Early reviews are saying it's hard PG-13 to R level, like violence and stuff. Well, it's interesting. I'll wait to see, because I don't think that immediately makes something good or bad or whatever.
No, but that makes me excited.
Yeah.
That makes me really intrigued, because we have not seen this yet.
Also,
with that stage.
I gotta say, now there was an interview with Vincent D'Onofrio, who was playing the Kingpin, and he talked about like, oh man, I'd love to kick Spider-Man's ass. Now that Spider-Man's, and it's like, they're allowed to work with Spider-Man, and he's part of they have to have Kingpin in there.
He's so great with Spider-Man.
The Spectacular Spider-Man animated series, they wanted to use Kingpin, but he was still owned by whoever owned him at the time, and so they went with Tombstone instead. And it's like, oh man, it'd be great to have Kingpin be a part of that world, just as a small part.
Yeah. I just want to say, look, having harder-edged violence and sex and content like that doesn't necessarily make a show better, but I do appreciate it because it shows that Marvel is willing to take risks with its properties.
Which is good, especially since Vulture just released a timeline of the Ant-Man movie and how it kind of fell apart.
Oh,
my
God.
It was so depressing.
I really want to read that.
It was so depressing.
It's so funny, though. It's so funny. You're like, oh, God, here's the right thing. But when it gets to that, there's already a long history of failure.
So it's interesting that like when they ban and taking risks with Ant-Man, it is good that at least with this series they're trying something a little bit different.
Yeah. Courtney O'Neill says that Kingpin's in Spider-Gwen.
Yes,
so that's good.
Yeah, well, that's a count. I
mean,
Also, in costume reveals, I don't know if you really call it a costume thing from Fantastic Four. We should have a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah, we got to pick. It's okay.
Yeah.
Where's his brow?
I don't.
The signature brow. I love the brow. I mean, it's
you
not
love the
important.
brow?
I love the brow.
I don't hate it. Here's the thing with that movie. Everything that comes out, I'm just like, could have been worse.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an open mind.
When they started comparing it to The Fly and calling it like a body horror thing, that actually got me excited.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. If I don't think about it as like a Fantastic Four thing, I'm on board.
No, the thing is,
because that is horrific. To wake up one day and your entire body is now rock.
Yeah.
That's got to be a
The thing has always
thing.
been as the short end of the stick on that. Situation.
He doesn't have a good mug.
Yeah.
No one wants to love him.
I'm excited for that movie too.
Also, Ben Hardy as Angel, confirmed by Bryan Singer.
And some cool concept art for Angel. He's got like a mechanical looking.
They're setting him up for. They're preparing him to be Archangel. They're setting him up to. In the comics, Angel gets taken over by Apocalypse, becomes one of his four horsemen. Death, and becomes Archangel, which made the character cool instead of lame.
The concept art is really cool.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Does it fit? Does it fold up? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's concept art too.
Yeah,
so
it's concept art. We got some pictures of
There's
that
also
as well.
you can throw it up in the Twitter window, Ricky. There was a reveal of Yellow Jacket in motion.
No.
Kind of on Entertainment Weekly.
Oh.
He looks pretty cool.
Yeah. That movie's not going to be good.
No, it's not.
Hey.
We shouldn't
be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll just be fine. It'll be better than S.H.I.E.L.D. I can say it's gonna be better than S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't know that it will. I'm not convinced of that.
They said that they saw my tummy.
They saw your tummy, yeah.
They saw my tummy. They'd see scars.
Show them your scars.
No, I'm not going to show them my scars.
Put your hand in it.
Yeah, we were talking about how DJ should turn your scar into your superpower, into a pouch. Into a bag of holding.
Infection waiting to happen.
No, cybernetic implants.
This week, in the Deadpool comic, issue 250. I think it's like 45, but it's also the 250th issue. Deadpool died. He'll never return. Everybody get real sad. He'll never come back. Do you want to know how he died?
Yeah.
Spoilers for people who haven't read the comics. He died because the Secret Wars event is being caused by the Ultimate Universe and the regular Marvel Universe crashing into each other.
Yeah.
He was at the point where they crashed.
Yay! That's hilarious.
That's amazing.
That's exactly
all his loved ones. It's him with all his loved ones, and he's finally at peace with that people love him and care about him, and then everything crashes in on that moment.
That's of course. So good.
And Ryan Reynolds tweeted a picture of himself
on the
toilet reading the reading thing. We got a picture of that as well. Going rapid fire with the pictures.
Oh, there's a lot of set photos, but there's just too many to grab.
The costume weirds me out. It's like this uncanny valley of costumes where it looks like
we liked it.
CGI to me.
The face looks very CGI. I like the body in motion.
It's weird. It's so much like the comics. It's one of those
I enjoy that.
I'm sorry, DJ. Did you just get everything that you asked for, and now you're upset?
No, that's not what I asked for Deadpool.
What did you ask for?
Here's the thing. Here's my problem. One of my problems with Deadpool is it's gonna suck, and I don't want it to suck.
You're so negative.
I'm not negative because the guy that directed it is the same guy that did that car chase sequence that everybody lost their shit over, and the set photos that they took looked like from that same scene, and it was not good.
No,
it was not funny.
The
jokes they made were not good. It was that's what the movie's going to be.
And I dislike his Deadpool voice.
And here's the thing: Ryan Reynolds seems like a legit guy. He legitimately cares about the character. This is a dream come true for him, but it's not going to be good. And I want it to be good for them. I want it to be. T.J. Miller's going to be in it. Like, it's just not. I want it to be good. I want it to be good. I just have a feeling that it's very much not going to be good.
DJ.
I'm sorry.
You know it's gonna be good.
I'm sorry. It just didn't. I don't.
Oh,
it just
poor
doesn't.
Sand. Come on, buddy.
If it's like that, if it's like that teaser that they put out, the CGI teaser, I'm not excited for it.
David Cruikshank at D Cruikshank says, "Do you think we will see the Daily Bugle and Oscorp Tower in Age of Ultron?" I doubt that deal got closed in enough time for them to do
the
it.
Oscorp Tower was supposed to be an Avenger, the first Avenger,
and they cut it out.
Yeah, because of time.
Yeah.
So probably not.
Probably not.
Especially since they're redesigning everything. They've got to figure out what their Daily Bugle looks like and what their Oscorp building looks like. So I doubt you're going to get any of that. The only reason I feel like you might see a Spider-Man thing is because of that one weird set photo that one guy on the side of the set that does look suspiciously like Spider-Man. It seems incredibly unlikely, but that set photo is
You are
really
literally
weird.
gonna give Sam like a heart attack.
You don't know
of
how
happy.
I'm gonna have to like take a 13-hour nap after watching that movie.
That's not a nap at that point. That's you're going to bed.
Yeah. No, it's like I'm gonna like sleep, wake up, go watch it, and then sleep again just to process all of it because we're gonna have the Star Wars trailer.
Yeah.
Then all of Avengers: Age of Ultron. I'm gonna need to eat a lot, drink a lot.
Yeah, you gotta keep
sleep
your
a lot,
fluids up.
Yeah.
Buddy. You're gonna pee yourself.
and I'll wake up and then just spew information.
Then there's the news of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spinoff, which it has to be Inhumans, right? I mean, is there anything else it could be?
That
Maybe
honestly
Mockingbird
sounds
series.
far more interesting than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'd be down for a Mockingbird series. If it's like Agent Carter, any spinoff they do, if it's like Agent Carter, I'm in. I'm down. Sign me up.
Look, here's where I am with spinoffs. If there is a story to tell, I'm okay with it. If you're doing it just because you're like, people like this character, this will make money, don't do it. Like Better Call Saul,
then you have a
there's a
problem
story
with
to tell.
most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I do have a problem with it.
But I'm not disagreeing with you. Better Call Saul, by the way, finale this week, fucking great.
Yeah.
That show's so good.
But that's the thing. That show has a story to tell. We didn't even realize that it had a story to tell.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Really fascinating. Anyway, also we have Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah, the new photo.
Do we have a picture of that?
Yeah, we do. There's a picture of the whole cast, the table read with Will Smith and Margot Robbie, and then everybody else. And the guy who's going to be Killer Croc.
Killer Croc, which is in there.
We tried to say his name last week, and we didn't know how to say it.
They're going to do what they always do with Killer Croc and make him like a guy with a skin condition. Here's how you do Killer Croc. You make him a body mod person, like Lizard Man. Tattooed his body up with scales.
Cool.
Cut his tongue. Makes sense.
That makes way more sense.
You have approval from Star over there.
Suddenly you have a realistic Killer Croc. Killer Croc is not hard to do.
Wait, he has a body condition. And
let's not get into it. It's weird.
He
But
eats
here's
people.
but here's the thing. It does work in this new. It wouldn't have worked in the Dark Knight movies.
Yeah.
In this one, we've got Enchantress and stuff like that. So, guy with a weird skin condition that eats people isn't that.
I completely forgot.
So
They've announced
Daryl
like a
P.
million
2008 wants to know our opinions on the directors of Cap 2 directing Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2. Absolutely.
They did a great job.
We were joking in the office about the 48-hour movie marathon of all the Marvel movies before Avengers. There's only 2.5 Marvel movies I actually really like, and there's only 3 movies I've watched twice.
Cap 2.
Cap 2, Avengers, and Iron Man.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh,
I didn't know Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the good thing is I find a lot of the jokes in Guardians of the Galaxy to be not very good, and that movie was very successful. So maybe there's hope for Deadpool. You know what I mean? Maybe Deadpool will blow up and everybody will love it.
Okay.
It's okay.
By the way, did you guys see the Jurassic World clip with Chris Pratt?
Oh my God, he comes off as such a pervy weirdo.
It's so bad.
I'm just being positive. I'm just trying to be positive. Like, is that
I
a
like
context?
your positivity.
I'm trying to be.
I'm
trying to like
positivity.
the things.
He comes off as such a smarmy, pervy weirdo.
And
When
what's
he
wrong with
talks
her,
about
too?
the Raptors,
Yeah. It's based on mutual respect. By the way, it would be so much cooler instead of having raptors be trained by him if he's leading the T-Rex, which is trying to eat him, to this other dinosaur to like lure it into them fighting each other. That makes so much more sense.
We already had a T-Rex battle though. It was really lame.
that was real lame.
Jurassic World.
I still think instead of genetically engineering dinosaurs, it should have been bringing back Ice Age
So our
animals.
producer Len, he wants to weigh in on this. He says, "Sorry, but it sucked. I was excited, but it sucked."
Yeah.
I'm sad now.
Yes.
One last tweet. I'm just going to address this before we do the poll list and then go. Mark Watkins at MarcoHTX says, what's so much hate for Will Smith? You diss him every episode of SH Roundup. You don't know that he wanted TV Deadshot to be killed. I didn't say necessarily that it was his opinion that should be, but if you're going to get a movie star of that caliber, that's going to be part of the deal-making process. It could have been his people, it could have been the studio, whatever. But when you have a movie star of that caliber taking over that role, you want him to be the only one.
He walked into the CW studio. He knocked everything off the tables. He's like, "There's more than one!" And he's kicking everything over and punching the executives. Like, what the hell am I doing here? And then they fire the other guy.
They blow him up.
Right,
real quick. John Wick directors are rumored to be hired for a DC movie, which got me very excited. And then it was said the DC movie is Red Hood, which got me less excited because Red Hood does not need his own movie. We have a Vision poster.
Red Hood movie was really good, though.
You're thinking of Batman Under the Red Hood.
Yes, this is a movie where it's focused on Red Hood.
Yeah,
it's not a Batman
stupid.
movie with... Yeah.
That's like Gotham, the movie.
Yeah, they should not do that. But also, the Vision poster was released this week, so we got a first look at Vision, which is
the purple.
It looks weird to me.
He looks so
Paul Bettany
weird.
Avengers poster.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Incredibles 2 is apparently being written by Brad Bird. Why did it fucking take you so long? Finally. And Ernie Hudson apparently is going to play Black Panther's dad.
Great.
There's rumors of that.
Rumors.
Pull list. Big Man Plans number 2 came out this week. Go buy it because Big Man Plans is amazing. Convergence is going on. I've heard mixed things. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I've heard mixed things. Apparently, this week, Convergence, The Question was released, and it's amazing. And it's Renee Montoya's The Question, written by Greg Rucka.
Question is my favorite.
Convergence, Justice League International is coming out. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but Justice League International is usually a winner. Ted Cord, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, a lot of fun. Stray Bullets, Sunshine and Roses. Speaking of Image Comics, an indie crime book by Image Comics. It's amazing. Check that out. And then Marvel's releasing the first issue of Darth Vader. And it's had a lot of success with its
Star Wars
comics. But again, it's hard to root for a guy that murdered a bunch of children.
True. All right, folks, I want to thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Superhero Roundup on SourceFedNERD. Keep your eyes peeled to our Twitter accounts. We're going to send all those details about this Sunday's big-ass Daredevil binge, and I hope that you watch it live with us.
Jonathan M. says Daredevil's already out in the UK.
What? They're watching it right now. Let's go to the UK right now.
I'm not checking my Twitter until Sunday.
Yeah. Tune in for that. And be sure to come back next week for our wonderful review and all the other great stuff. I'm Matt Lieberman.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm Sambashor.
I'm DJ.
Hey, DJ.
DJ's better now.
Everybody tweeted DJ to get a pouch.
Yeah, tell DJ that he needs a cybernetic appendix that turns into lasers.
I don't want that, guys.
You want that.
You do want it.
But next week is going to be jam-packed because we have S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow and Flash and all of Daredevil.
I know, so much to talk about. Can you get an appendix that's kind of like Wolverine, but it's so like it's adamantium claws that pop out of your appendix scar? So like when you hug people, you stab them?
No.
Or
you can't do that.
It's a cybernetic appendix that will burst at any time, and it's just Wolverine claws that shoot out in every direction.
Yeah. Or it's like that implant in season 5 of Fringe when he becomes one of the observers, and it turns him into an observer. And okay, goodbye.
Bye.
We were told to say goodbye.